Hey guys, it's Kieran. Welcome back to this new video. In today's video, I'm going to basically cover the topic of leverage, aka how you can push past ceilings and scale your business, okay? For those of you who don't know, leverage in business terms basically just means a way of amplifying your time or effort, right? So there's four kind of main types of leverage. So you've got code, so this could be things like, like ManyChat, for example, basically automations, things like that. You've got labor, so that's obviously, hiring team members or contractors, things like that. You've got media, so that's basically just making videos. A good example is like implementing like a course inside your program, so you're not repeating yourself day in, day out, or when you get new clients on board, you've got a full course for them to go through. They have have all the information that they need, like a baseline, and yeah, it basically is just going to remove a lot of the effort from yourself from having to teach them everything every single time. And the last one's capital as well. So capital, money. So what can you do with money? You can, invest in courses, mentors, contractors. You can run paid ads. Basically, you're putting money in and then you're getting money out. The more money you've got, essentially, the more money you should be able to make in theory. So those are the kind of four main types of leverage. And basically I've got a kind of roadmap here. So on the left there you've got leverage. On the right here you've got revenue. So every time that you're going to reach a wall, right? So there's going to be a wall there. There's going to be a wall here. And then there's going to be a wall here as well. So, at the start, you're kind of below 10k a month. You're sort of doing everything yourself. You might have an editor or something in there just to save you a bit of time. But for the most part, you'll probably be making your videos yourself. You'll be talking to everyone. You'll be the one wearing all the hats in the business. Now, there's nothing really wrong with that, because at this stage, you don't really have a lot of stress. You don't really have a lot of problems. It really is just a case of you taking action at this point, right? You purely taking action, working hard, is going to get you, to 10 to 20k a month. If you've got the right systems in place, if you're charging a high enough price, it shouldn't be too difficult. But you're going to get to a point where maybe you're starting to get quite a few followers come in. You might be getting a lot of, inbound leads. And it's going to get to the point where you're going to be spending a lot of hours in the DMs. Whether that's, just messaging new followers, which everyone should be, replying to keywords, inquiries, all the things like that. You as the business owner shouldn't really have to be doing that, right? Because it's a low skill job. It's something that you can delegate very easily. So when that time comes, usually the first hire, apart from an editor maybe, is a setter. So you're basically just removing yourself from the DMs so you can focus on tasks that are going to get you a bigger return on investment, right? Then you've got the going from, hiring a setter to the coach or the client success manager. So in this phase, you're kind of looking at how can you make your service more efficient, right? Because at this point, you'll probably have over 50 clients, and by you not, productizing yourself or hiring a team member, you're going to significantly take away from the customer experience, right? So by you not investing in the service delivery is just selfish. So not only is it going to help you scale further, but it's going to hinder your client's success as well. So there's two things you can do here. You can have a course. You can try and automate the fulfillment as much as possible, just to save you repeating yourself, and just so the clients have as much information as they could possibly need to have clarity and to take action. So you're kind of removing yourself from the teaching process. Obviously, you'll be still doing like your video check-ins and stuff, but the course will be where all the information is. And you'll have a coach as well. There's a few different ways you can do this. One way is by just having what's called a client success manager, who will be on the back end of your service, who will essentially check in with clients, keep them accountable, keep your community active, so keep people engaged in the community. So they don't really have to have like much fitness knowledge to do this job. But on the other hand, you could actually hire someone who actually is a coach, right? And you could pass clients on to them, and they could do the whole process for you, the onboarding, making the training plan, the check-ins and things. And then you just simply give them a commission on a monthly basis for the clients that they coach. And if they, renew people, they obviously get commission on that as well. So there's two different ways you can do it. Obviously, having a coach is going to be much better if you're driving a lot of clients through the program. But if you just kind of need someone to keep people accountable and just make sure everyone's completing all the tasks that they're meant to, things like that, then a client success manager could be a good shout for you. And the last thing is a closer, right? Now, the reason this comes last, right, I know some of you maybe might not like sales. However, getting good at sales is probably one of the best things you can possibly do. And the sales calls is where the highest stakes are, right? So this is where the money is actually being made. So you need to make sure that this part of the business is running as smoothly and as good as possible, right? Because if you actually want to hire a closer, one, you need to hire someone good, and two, you can't really expect someone to be as good as you. So you should be looking for about them to be reaching numbers that's about 80% of what you're able to do, okay? And if they're not, if they're only closing 60 to 70% of what you're doing, that's going to be a big issue in terms of like the revenue numbers you're pulling in. But yeah, so this is just kind of, it's all to do with having the mindset of going from coach to business owner, right? Because if you're in the mindset of being a coach forever, you're never going to make it past this stage. Because at some point you need to look past coaching people. You need to think, how can I make my service more of a product as opposed to just me being a coach, right? You need to think of your whole service as a product and as a machine, and you need to make sure that you're not going to be able to be every single part of the machine, and you need to make sure that you're hiring people that can do it well. But also, like, just because you're not specifically coaching people doesn't mean your service isn't going to be as good anymore, right? This is just a complete limiting belief that people have. But yeah, so just making sure that if you're at 10 to 20k a month, don't just struggle and stay in the trenches forever, or else you're just going to stay stuck. You're just going to hit a ceiling. You need to think about, how can you address these bottlenecks by using leverage, right? Because if you don't think about this stuff and you're not trying to implement things that's going to get you back your time and freedom, well, for one, you might start, hating what you're doing. But two, as I said before, you're just going to start hitting a ceiling and you're going to get stuck, right? Because you're just going to hit this wall, then you're going to hit this wall, then you're going to hit this wall, till the point where, you know, you've got all these people hired, and then it becomes, your role sort of becomes more, you know, managing people and whatnot. But, you know, the aim should be to be focused on the parts of the business that you love every single day, because that's how you're going to have the happiest kind of life. And yeah, so, you know, if you don't like content, then hire an editor. You know, if you don't like messaging people all day, then hire a setter. If you don't like sales, hire a closer. But you have to do this stuff at the right time, or it could go wrong. Okay, you need to be making enough money to be able to reinvest back into the business. You know, which is why I always advocate for a high ticket offer, obviously, so you've got the luxury of being able to do that. But yeah, that's kind of all for this video, guys. It's just a quick one today. I just kind of wanted to talk about this. A lot of coaches don't even consider any of this stuff. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.